Welcome back to Bailey Research News. This is the show where every month I go through the weirdest news stories and make jokes solely based off the headlines because I don't want to do any research whatsoever. Let's get into it.
Yeah. From the BART train to a tour bus, still the same game except I'm pulling more sluts, more butts, more butts.
Boris Johnson is worried that his £150,000 salary is not enough. Not enough for what? Right? Because I think it's enough. Let me put it into perspective for you. Right? You earn just as much as struggling Chelsea goalkeeper Kepa Arrizabalaga, or however you pronounce his name, right? And that's why I think it's enough. Because if I'm not mistaken, you've been divorced before. So just like how he's in his 20s struggling to save shots, you were in your 20s struggling to save your marriage. Okay, to be fair, that was a bit mean. So let's try look at it from the bright side, right? Let's look at it from the bright side. I think you being divorced made you the perfect candidate to be the British Prime Minister. Why, you ask? It's simple. You had exactly what they needed at the time. Experience in exiting unions. The Texas butthole tickling bandit has finally been caught. No, how? Right? How did he get to tickle your butthole in the first place? Because the only thing that makes sense to me is that when he broke into your house, your window wasn't the only thing busted wide open. And I have to say, this is the most evil thing I've ever heard. Tickling people in general can be torture in itself, right? But now you're tickling the anus. Nah, that is evil. This man is the Antichrist. This man has to be the Antichrist. It's the only thing that makes sense, because it seems like he genuinely enjoys disturbing everything holy. A farmer has been sentenced for drug dealing after a customer offered to milk cows in exchange for drugs. I guess you could say he was moving weight. Yeah. And I think he was also comfortably getting away with it too until the police heard about it. These are the jokes I add to make sure the show isn't too short. A teacher was put on leave after giving a pretend you're a slave assignment. When asked about her thought process, she simply said she. I don't know if it is a she or a he, but I just imagine it's a Karen. So we're just gonna go with that. After asked about her thought process, she simply said she wanted the soft kids of today to truly understand the past and eventually be whipped into shape. And I kind of understand. I don't, or not the whipped into shape part. That's a lie. She never said that. I don't know. I didn't read the article. I'm just saying, sometimes it's good to learn in a different way. Step away from the classroom, step away from the books, and just go do some field work. A delivery driver punches a pregnant woman by mistake. And I know, yes, this is a terrible, terrible story. Punching a pregnant woman is terrible. But, right, I'm a man that likes to look at things from the bright side. And just think about it, right? At least now when she gives birth, it won't be the first time she experiences a painful delivery. So she'll be used to it. Apparently, speaking English may spread more coronavirus than any other language. Yes, on the surface level, this story doesn't seem to make sense. But I think it does. Right? If you think about it, the coronavirus and English have a lot of things in common. Right? What the coronavirus does is very similar to the past actions of the creators of the English language. It invades, takes over, and oppresses your immune system, sucking you dry of every resource for its own benefit, its own growth, its own expansion, leaving lasting effects that even when it's gone, it affects the way you live, only leaving you with thoughts on how life would have been if you were always free in the first place. Would have things been better? Would have things been worse? You'll never know. Was your growth stagnated by the number of years your efforts, resources, and land has been used to benefit someone else other than yourself and your own people? Even when it's gone, it leaves you with the constant reminder that it once happened. And now you constantly celebrate the day it ended because, yeah, sure, it's amazing, right? Gaining your independence is a great feeling, but it shouldn't have been the case in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Your freedom and independence should have always been there and never taken away from you. I don't know how I got here. I have no idea how I got it. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Let's move on. Jesus. A couple that loves Olive Garden is to name their daughter Olivia Garton. And that's hella creative. I'm not even joking. That is hella creative. It's so creative that it's somewhat inspirational. Yes, that's right. I've also decided to name my child after something I love to eat. I'm gonna name my child West Ash Pussy.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house.
I said certified free.
Due to unfortunate circumstances, this week we will not be having a weather segment because unfortunately our weatherman is falling sick. So if you enjoy it, please make sure you like and subscribe, share it with your friends, your family, anyone else they might like my... I'm here. Sorry I'm late. I wasn't feeling too well. I guess you could say I was slightly under the weather. Right? But luckily for you, I'm feeling much better so I can be on top of things. Speaking of things being on top, temperatures will be hitting a high of about 35 degrees. And I must say, as a man of my current financial position, the temperatures aren't the only hot thing above 30 I'm willing to handle. And with no rainfall or barely any clouds in sight, it seems like finally most men will get to spend some quality time with the sun. Back to you in the studio. You know what? This week he was actually decent.